One of the main reasons why you should start to play Sicilian is that you're avoiding symmetry and you would have more winning chances. Also, you'll fight for the center with the flank pawns, and one of the basic principles of chess is that you fight for the center. And in many lines, you would have two central pawns and your opponent would have only one central pawn. So that is advantage for you, and you open this C file for future attack with the rook. But drawback of the playing Sicilian is as the beginner is that you would have a little bit space disadvantage, and you would have at least 1, 2, 3, 4 additional moves to castle, which is also one of the main principles of chess. Castle as soon as possible. So you play a little bit on the queen side and a layer on the king side. So that is one of the drawback. Also, like we said, avoiding the symmetry means that if you play Petrov, for example, this is one of the most disgusting and drawish line in chess. Actually, in Grandmaster's level, this is about 60% drawing lines, and in Lean Chess database, it is only 5 or 10% drawish line with this Petrov. So Grandmaster know what they're doing. We are gonna cover 13 basic Sicilian lines, and I promise that you in the end of the video you would have basic understanding of Sicilian and you will know what to do. Let's start. Sicilian defense starts with c5, and most often your opponent will play knight to f3, just supporting the center and preparing to d4. I suggest that you play d6, supporting this c5 pawn. Later your opponent will strike in the center and you will capture the pawn. Your opponent will recapture and you must attack this pawn. You will do that with knight to f6. This pawn is attacked, and after knight to c3 you have 4 main lines, which is g6, which is the dragon, e6, which is Scheveningen, knight to c6, which is the classical variation, and a6, which is the Najdorf variation. We should cover all the variation, and you will choose what to play according to your playing style. First, we will cover the Najdorf variation. Like we said, e4, c5, knight to f3, d6 is just to cover this up once again. As soon as you see d4, just take the central pawn and you attack the e4 pawn with the knight. And after knight to c3, you will play a6, which is the Najdorf variation. And there is some plans for the Najdorf variation. Here, black is stopping white to play knight or bishop to b5. So this b5 is a good square for the white, and a6 prevented. So plan for the black is to play a5, just strike in the center, and this is the game plan. You'll develop your bishop on e7, short castle, and this is the move for your pieces. b5, knight to c6, bishop to e6, and that is it for development. Now we'll see the dragon variation. Again, e4, c5, knight to f3, d6 supporting the pawn. We have exchange in the center, and now you have knight to f3 again. And after knight to c3, you will play the dragon variation, which is g6 and preparing for fianchetto your bishop and short castle. This is the game plan for white. He would like to play queen to d2, attacking here, and he would like to long castle and make the pawn storm on the king side. And you would play bishop to g7, and this is your game plan. This is the places for your pieces: a6, b5, knight to c3, bishop to d7, short castle. And this h4 moves prevents this g4 thrusts because it is supported with the pawn, which is on the h4, h5 with the knight and with the bishop. Okay, that is the dragon variation. Now we'll see the Scheveningen variation. Again, after the classical open Sicilian, we have e6, and now you have the great control of the center with these squares. And white would often play bishop to e3, and now you play a6, similar as in the Najdorf. And here you can play b5, and you will prepare to e5, bishop to e7, and short castle. Okay, Now we'll see the classical variation. The classical variation, like we said, it is with knight to c6, and you offer exchange of the knights, which would be beneficial for you because you capture this pawn closer to the center. Most often, white would play bishop to g5, and he wants to damage your pawn structure, and you prevent it with e6, because if you capture your knight, you will recapture with the queen, and there is no damage in the structure. Okay, we covered this first 5 variants of the Sicilian, and now we cover the accelerated dragon and hyper accelerated dragon. We should start with the accelerated dragon. It starts with open Sicilian, there is exchange in the center, and now you'll play g6. G6 move came closer than in the regular dragon, and after bishop to g7, this is the great scope for your bishop, and you are preparing to knight to f6 and short castle. Your opponent would capture your knight, you will recapture, and he tried to harass your knight, but you go back only temporary. After f4 move, you play this knight to h6 move, and you have this juicy f5 square for your knight, and you should short castle, and you have pleasant game. That is accelerated dragon. Now we'll see hyper accelerated dragon. It is the similar variation, but g6 move came even faster than in accelerated dragon. We have open in the center, and now you play knight to c6, knight to c3, and bishop to g7. And again, this bishop have a great scope on this long diagonal, and this is one sample line. You would short castle, and you will have pleasant game. For example, white will go back, and you will play d6, develop your bishop, and so on. Next we have Alapin variation, which is, we'll see, which e4, c5, c3 move. This c3 move prepares to d4 strike in the center, and you play d5 yourself. And after exchanging the center, you must be comfortable to play with the queen on the center if you want to play Alapin variation, because here this c3 move stops the knight to c3, and it cannot kick away your queen so easily. So this is one sample line. You pin your opponent's bishop, play e6, and develop your pieces, and after e7 move you should short castle and finish your development. That is Alapin variation. We have close Sicilian variation also. For example, Fischer like to play these close Sicilian lines. This is the slow and maneuvering game, and it's very often transposed into some kind of King's Indian defenses, and white most often create this battery with a queen and the knight, and wants to play this move on the h6 and exchange pieces there. This is one sample line, and that is the close Sicilian. Now we'll cover the Sveshnikov and Rossolimo variation. Sveshnikov starts with open Sicilian and early e5 move. And here white plays knight to b5, and he threatens to play knight to d6, which would be annoying for us. So we'll play d6 our own, and he will pin our knight. We play a6 to chase away his knight, and he goes back, and we play b5. And we are threatening b4 to fork his knights, and he's forced to play knight to d5. We play bishop to e7, and we have a exchange on f6, and after c3 we have this bishop to g5 move, because this bishop is strangely it's not easily to harass him, because he cannot harass with the pawns. And our game plan is to short castle and continue the game. That is Sveshnikov variation. And we'll have Rossolimo Sicilian, which is a good way to fight against the Sicilian, because white will play bishop to b5, and he threatened to damage our pawn structure on c6. And we continue the play on the king side, and he managed to damage our structure, and we continue our development. And this after short castle and b5, the main problem for the black is that this bishop haven't got any good future. This b7 square is not good, because this diagonal is closed, and this diagonal is not good also. And we have this these pawns which is are doubled. Now we'll cover the gambit. First we have the wing gambit, which is this b4 move, and after you capture this pawn, we have d6, and white have the strong center for one pawn. Like we talked early on, you have this c5 move in Sicilian, which is basically you fight for the center with the flank pawn. But here white sacrifice his pawn to early development and strong center. Now we'll see the Smith-Morra gambit, which is actually also very annoying, and here the white also have a very fast development. Like you see, he have three pieces develop, and we have only one developed piece. But you don't have to accept the gambit. You can play something like this. Just recapture, just refuse the gambit and play d6, and this is also playable line. I try to cover the main lines of the Sicilian, but there is many more lines like Grand Prix, like Kann and Taimanov and other variations. The Sicilian is very theoretical and hard to learn opening, but don't try to learn all the theory, just try to have fun and win some interesting games. And if you like to play some easier openings to learn, there is my video of the Caro Kann opening, which is only 5 lines which you should learn, and you will be fine. The link is in the description, and you can check it out. That is it for today. See you next video. Bye.